a lot of times what we see is that the finance shop is focusing on that upper sort of tier of functionality, the analytics, which is absolutely key. That's what they want to do. But unless you change the foundation, the analytics aren't going to be worth much. I'm from California. We're in a big drought, right? And we can change all the plumbing around we want, but unless the water's in the dam, there's not much to do with it. We think that you have to fundamentally change the system of record. It has to be more flexible. One of the big failures we see right now is not that an inability to piece the parts together. That you can do that, right? It's ones and zeros and money. The issue is what happens when it changes. And what we've got out there is a lot of very, very brittle infrastructure that is sitting on top of stuff that just can't change. So our view is you have to start with a foundation. It has to be built for the cloud. There is no evolution of these old systems to the cloud. It just can't be done. You have to start over. So you have to start with that. And then once you've got that foundation and you've built something that is sort of modern technology, agile and all those things, then you can start putting things on top of it. But if the foundation's old and creaky, you're only as good as that first block. We don't think it can evolve. It has to change.
It's nice to speak about the new application, but the background is not done. And 80% or 90% of organizations have not yet moved to the cloud. I'm sure there are none in the room, but I still meet some very strange organizations which run their email inside. You remember Exchange, Lotus Notes? Okay. When a company is doing this crazy stuff and not moving to the cloud, they cannot do something more. So today, I think there is 5-10 years, as you said, to change the back office. And it's nice to speak about the new fancy applications. But I think the first step is to move everything which is a commodity to the cloud, starting by infrastructure. I don't think private cloud exists. That is a misnomer. Private cloud is a new fancy name of an old data center. Fine, if you prefer to modernize your cloud quickly, you change the name, that's it. But the real one is public cloud. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, maybe IBM are doing it with billions. Microsoft is, Google has invested this year $10 billion in infrastructure. So then you go to this kind of infrastructure. You cannot compete. Nobody can compete. One. Two, you got all your applications, which are email, CRM, human resources, budgeting, financial, cash management out on SaaS, best of breed. And once you have done that, then you can move to more stuff. But this is not done yet. So it's nice to speak about what could be done, but let's start by what could be done today.
We are very much doing everything we can to apply technology at each of those points, but our goal is to deliver an integrated, seamless customer experience. And we cannot do that unless we change our back end, until we get the foundation in place so we can recognize each customer for who they are. We just hired not too long ago, about the same time as me, I've been there about 4 months, the head of innovation from Disney. He's the inventor of the Disney Magic Band, right? And so clearly, he's going to be bringing some revolutionary thinking to how we apply technology to the experience. But it's not just technology to the experience, it's to the base product. It takes several years to build a ship. What technology do you need to embed now so that you can deliver that experience later?
I have the fortunate position to have lived the opportunity to lay out a brand new foundation from an IPO company. I lead the Zoetis IT group through the IPO. So we had the great opportunity to start from a blank sheet of paper and say, what's in the cloud, what are we going to do, what layer, what architecture we're going to have. And we developed this beautiful document, an architecture document, which still lives to this day. But when we started applying some of the constraints, I get your point that you need to start with the basic foundation, the infrastructure, the ERP systems, and all the other processes. And you lay out the constraints of, okay, we have a legacy service from Pfizer, because Zoetis is an IPO from Pfizer. We have time constraints. And by the way, we also have some commitments to the street that we won't spend more than X number of, millions of dollars to become independent. You start, and the maturity of the products that are available today. You start playing with all this, and you end up perhaps in a much better place than we were under legacy Pfizer, but certainly not in the ultimate place. So you need to develop the real roadmap, and this is not going to happen today. It's been a 2-year trek at this point. It's going to happen over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, because it's not, a magic wand. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. Today at Zoetis, at the end of this year, a lot of our infrastructure is in the cloud. We have a lot of the enabling functions. We've got the Workday, we have payroll, we have learning systems, sales, commercial systems. A lot of regulated documents are in the cloud, but we're not there yet. There's still a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of challenges in integrating all this together, making sure it's secure and compliant, looking across end-to-end process for data that is insightful, that can generate, help making decision. And also, very importantly to me, is the management of all this. And it's a completely different paradigm from, planning and acquiring and managing own equipment to more of a contracting phase that's longer, a lot of different financial implications, and overall oversight of all these different solutions, because overall there are not one solutions in the cloud, there's a number of solutions.